JRPGs love their chosen heroes, but let's be real, playing by the rules isn't always fun. Sometimes you just want to be the rebel, flip the script, and tell destiny to take a hike. So today, we're counting down 8 must-play JRPGs that let you be the rebel. If you're ready to shake things up, hit like, subscribe, and join the resistance, because we're just getting started. 8. Final Fantasy II. Final Fantasy games love their rebellion stories, but if we're talking pure, undiluted defiance, Final Fantasy II is the one. You play as 4 orphans who barely survived the Palamecian Empire's brutal invasion. Instead of keeping their heads down, 3 of them immediately join a resistance group and start causing maximum problems for the Empire. We're talking guerrilla warfare, espionage missions, and straight-up infiltrations into enemy territory, all to bring down an emperor who refuses to take the hint. But this is Final Fantasy, so things escalate fast. The emperor goes full JRPG villain, dies, and then decides that's not dramatic enough, so he comes back as a literal demon. Because if you're going to fight an oppressive dictator, you might as well do it twice. Number 7, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Not a traditional rebellion? Maybe. But when you spend an entire game breaking a rigged system and fighting to free people from a never-ending war, it counts. You start as Noah, a soldier caught in an endless battle between Kevas and Agnes. But here's the problem. Nobody actually knows why they're fighting. It's just war for war's sake. When Noah and his squad start questioning things, they realize the whole thing is a twisted game controlled by Mobius, a group of shadowy overlords keeping everyone trapped in a cycle of violence. So what do? They flip the board. They team up with their supposed enemies, turn on their own factions, and take the fight straight to the ones pulling the strings. And since both armies now want them dead, they have to battle everyone while freeing as many people as possible. 0 backup, 0 second chances, just pure rebellion. Number 6, Tales of Arise. Some rebellions are about defying authority. Others, pure survival. For 300 years, the planet Dana has been under brutal rule by the Raynans, who have turned its people into a permanent underclass. Enter Alphen, a masked warrior who literally can't feel pain, and Xion, a woman cursed to electrocute anyone who touches her. Together, they form an uneasy alliance to burn the Ran overlords to the ground, one city at a time. This rebellion isn't just about swinging swords and shouting motivational speeches. Most of the oppressed don't even realize they can fight back. Watching entire towns go from beaten down and hopeless to rising up and taking charge is easily one of the most satisfying parts of the game. And the boss fights? Personal, brutal, unforgettable. Sure, the second half of the game takes some wild detours, but if you want to crush an empire with your own hands, Tales of Arise doesn't disappoint. 5. Unicorn Overlord. With a title like Unicorn Overlord, you might expect a quirky, lighthearted RPG. Wrong. Instead, you get one of the most strategic, large-scale resistance stories in JRPG history. The Kingdom of Cornea gets absolutely steamrolled by the Xenoaran Empire, and the rightful heir, Alan, is forced into exile. Years later, he returns, not as some lost prince, but as the leader of a full-blown liberation army. Unlike most JRPG rebellions, this one feels tactical. You're not just slashing through enemies. You're building alliances, managing resources, and leading full-scale battles across the continent. Every choice matters. Every ally counts. And when the final battle comes, it's not just about Alan. It's about the army he built from nothing. If you want a rebellion where strategy matters as much as swords, Unicorn Overlord delivers. Number 4, Suikoden. Before Suikoden, most JRPGs were about prophecies and chosen ones. Suikoden said, nah, let's talk about war, politics, and betrayal instead. You play as Tyr McDole, the son of a high-ranking Imperial general. At first, he follows orders, but after witnessing the Empire's brutality firsthand, he defects and joins the Resistance. This isn't just a personal journey. You're tasked with recruiting 108 allies, each with their own story, abilities, and reasons for joining the cause. You're not just fighting, you're building an army, managing a base and leading large-scale battles. And to top it off, your own father is one of the Empire's most loyal generals, making the final confrontations painfully personal. It's intense, it's emotional, and it remains one of the best rebellion-driven JRPGs ever made. Number 3, Final Fantasy VI. If we're talking gold standard rebellions, Final Fantasy VI is it. You start as Terra, a mind-controlled soldier used as a weapon by the Gestalian Empire. Once freed, she joins the Returners, a small but determined resistance group fighting to stop the Empire from taking over the world. But unlike most rebellion stories, this one doesn't stop at overthrow the bad guys. Midway through the game, the villain wins. The world is shattered, and suddenly, your goal isn't just resistance, it's survival. Final Fantasy VI doesn't just tell a story about fighting back. It's a story about what happens when all hope seems lost, and why some fights are still worth having. Number 2, Tales of Vesperia. Sometimes you don't need an army to rebel. Sometimes all you need is one guy who refuses to play by the rules. Enter Yuri Lowell, former knight, full-time problem. He starts off trying to fix corruption from the inside, but after realizing the system is completely broken, he decides to fix it his own way. And by fix, I mean personally taking out corrupt officials in the middle of the night. Unlike your typical idealistic JRPG hero, Yuri doesn't wait for justice. He makes it happen. And when his old allies start questioning his methods, he shrugs, smirks, and keeps moving forward. A rebel with a cause and an attitude. And number 1, Persona 5. There's Rebellion, and then there's Persona 5, a game where your entire existence is about sticking it to the system. You play as the leader of the Phantom Thieves, a group of teenagers who can literally invade the minds of corrupt authority figures and force them to confess their crimes. What starts as a simple act of justice quickly escalates into a full-scale war against the Japanese government. And the best part? The world doesn't reward you. The Phantom Thieves are hunted, betrayed, and treated like criminals. Because in Persona 5, rebellion isn't about glory. It's about risking everything to do what's right. And there you have it. 8 JRPGs that prove being a rebel is way more fun. Whether you're toppling empires, rewriting fate, or just refusing to play by the rules, these games let you embrace your inner troublemaker. Got a favorite rebellious JRPG moment? Drop it in the comments. And if you love content like this, hit like, subscribe, and stick around, because we're just getting started. See you in the next one.